Hi, I'm Joe Parcell, Director of Applied Social Sciences in the College of Agriculture, Food and Natural Resources, and welcome to our Take One for Ag video series. Take One for Ag provides decision makers with the information they need from our division's applied social science research programs. Joining me today is Dr. Pat Westhoff, Howard Cowden Professor of Agriculture and Applied Economics and Director of the Food and Agricultural Policy Research Institute at the University of Missouri. Pat, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for being here, Joe.
So today, Pat, I want to talk a little bit about some of the work that FAPRI's done in their baseline briefing around outlook. So we've got some decisions being made this fall, and I want to dig right in with crops. So looking at crops, we've got some interesting things going out there in soybeans. We've got some prices at 10-year lows, and maybe more surprising is we've got some projections that I've seen here that have soybean net returns or returns below corn, which is something different. So explain a little bit to me of what's going on there.
It is a different world than we've lived in the last several years. Soybean prices have fallen relative to corn. That means lower returns to soybean producers compared to corn producers. We do expect to see, therefore, an increase in soybean acreage or in corn acreage in 2019.
All right. So let's turn over to wheat. So wheat looks a little bit different picture. So some maybe good news on the horizon. We have seen your baseline briefing book projections for wheat price up and maybe a slight tick up in acreage. What's driving some of that?
Most of that's being driven by international stories. We've had some reduced production in some major competing exporting countries. It's tightened the world market for wheat a little bit, draw down stocks, cause prices to increase.
All right. So let's turn our attention here to hay production. So big for the livestock industry, our cattle producers out there, lamb producers, goat producers. We had a tough winter last year. We had some droughts, some weather conditions that maybe didn't favor hay production. See here that we're going to run in some lowest stocks and lowest production we've seen in quite some time. And what kind of impact's that going to have on prices first?
Yeah, we've already seen a good size increase in hay prices across the country, and especially here in Missouri with the short crop we had this year. That does result in a higher cost of production for cattle producers. Will probably result in a little bit slower growth in cattle production in front of us than we would have had otherwise.
Okay, so some slower growth, not necessarily a decline maybe in inventory
It'll
numbers.
probably speed the turn on the inventory numbers was going to happen anyway, so maybe instead of happening a couple of years down the road, it may start happening again just the next few months.
All right, Pat. So I want to thank you here for giving us your insights on some market outlook going on out there in agriculture as our decision makers are making decisions for next year here this fall with buying their inputs from corn to getting ready to start the next calf crops. And to our followers, I want to thank you for joining us on Take One for Ag, and we look forward to you joining us on future installments.